either. Really good book. Strongly recommend it. Definitely makes you think. I can tell you that much. But we're being deceived a lot by the people that call themselves God's chosen people. Not my God, but their God for sure. They're the chosen. The Edomites that hate Christ and hate Christians as they have since Esau sold his birthright. They worship the Star of Remphan, and now I'm going to show you what they're up to, other than the Iran war, obviously. But let's see what they are up to otherwise. Let me get some music started here.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing.
Come on,
Bluetooth
damn it.
connected.
Let's go. Okay. As we get into Israel news here. Obviously, intensified Israeli and U.S. strikes on Iran. Yeah, we got that. We'll get into that a little later. Iranian missile barrages on Israel, of course. Hezbollah in Lebanon continued rocket fire into northern Israel with joint attacks alongside Iran. Strikes hit Beirut and southern Lebanon, killing civilians, including reports of 8 in one home, 12 healthcare workers in another strike, and overall death tolls rising significantly, hundreds in recent weeks. Southern Lebanon. Not Iran. I understand it's war, whatever the fuck. Sure seems like they're killing their favorite people to kill, innocent civilians, healthcare workers. Limited reopening of the Rafah crossing for pedestrian traffic from Gaza, announced for Wednesday. Oh, here we go. As I say every week, and I've said every week since I started this show back in June, every week it's the same thing. Every fucking week they're killing innocent civilians in a war that is supposed to already be in a fucking ceasefire. How these motherfuckers aren't getting arrested yet and charged with war crimes is a complete honest mystery to me. Anyway, a tragic incident in the West Bank where Israeli forces killed a Palestinian couple and their 2 young children aged 5 and 7. That sounds like a real threat, huh? Sounds like a real threat. Diplomatic notes. Potential direct Israel-Lebanon talks to address Hezbollah disarmament, just like they went with Iran, and global concerns over oil routes and escalation. Reports indicate Israel is running low on missile interceptors amid sustained barrages. I'm telling you, if this is going to go nuclear, it'll probably happen within the next couple weeks. You just heard it. Israel is running low on missile interceptors. I've seen, I didn't cover this in my research here, but apparently there's mixed reports that Benjamin Netanyahu is dead. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know. All I know is the 2 videos that I've seen released since the picture came out of his dismembered body after an attack hit where him and his right and left hand men were, they're complete AI. Definite AI. One, where he's talking in an office setting like this, he has 6 fingers. And then the other one is, which is now being called Coffee Gate, is he's supposedly at a coffee shop. He grabs his coffee, And you can see the coffee at the rim. When he picks it up, it sloshes side to side, and not a fucking thing falls out. Like, what's going on here? Is this just another psyop, or is he actually dead, or what's going on? Because if he's actually dead, this is the time where the nukes are going to fly. Once the cat's out of the bag, that Benjamin Netanyahu is dead, this regime change shit doesn't work. Okay, these people openly worship Satan, hence Iran burning a statue of Baal when they declared war on Israel. The Star of Remphan. I'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to open this with the great Harrison Smith. Oh, God. Let's see here. Is it? Nope, that's Owen.
And clips out of it. Let's go to this first. Clip number 5. Here's Pete Hegseth.
Oh, that's Pete Hegseth looking like an idiot. Oh, here we might as well play it.
Shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. Okay, so there you go. The Strait of Hormuz is open for transit. It's just that, Iran will fire missiles at you. But other than that, it's totally open.
Yeah, it's
There's
open.
No threats going through the Strait of Hormuz, except, of course,
the missiles.
The Iranian missiles. But, if they stop shooting those, then it's open. So we can just consider it open. Of course, little caveat there are the missiles. But other than that, I'm not kidding. Let's play that again. I think we missed.
Yeah, we got to see it
part.
again, Harrison. This is good stuff.
Because it's short. Here's Pete Hegseth saying the Strait of Hormuz is
Your
safe.
Secretary of War, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's watch. The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got it, huh?
I guess the point he's making is that there's no mines. Okay, I guess. Great, good point.
Stupid. Let's see, is this the right one now?
That anti-Semitism should come with
there we go.
With a death warrant, according to these people. That if you are anti-Semitic, it means you want to kill all Jews, that you don't want Jews to even exist. So therefore, self-defense kill you. If you're anti-Semitic, it means you want all the Jews to die, which means they're right to want to kill you. And if you're European, you are anti-Semitic, even if you don't express it, even if you yourself don't believe it, it's in your DNA. And an advisor to the White House is saying that publicly on X, Mark Levin.
Mark Levin.
Yeah,
that fucking piece of shit.
It's crazy. It's dangerous.
Has a primetime talk show, for Christ's sake.
By the way, irrefutable. Cruz attacked journalist Tucker Carlson for promoting the notion that the promises in the Bible that God makes to Israel are no longer valid. Well, they're not. So there it is. That's the obvious reading of the Bible to anybody with a third grade education. Just read the freaking Bible. It literally lays it out verbatim, absolutely, right? Even if somebody's not a Christian, never read the Bible, they still know stories that disprove what Ted Cruz says. You want to hear them? Raise your hand out there in the audience if you've ever heard of the Good Samaritan. What does that mean? Who's the Good Samaritan? What is Samaritan?
Who's that?
Mean? Oh, the Samaritans were a people that weren't Jews? Interesting. So this was a racial thing. In other words, the parable of the Good Samaritan was Jesus Christ telling his followers that it was more important to be a good person and not be a Jew. You're a better person even if you're not Jewish, but you behave well, than being the highest, most exalted Jew in the world who's rude and ignores the suffering of his fellow human beings. That is literally the point. I don't know what other point you get from that story. He tells a story where the Pharisees, the high up, arrogant, highfalutin Jews who think they own the world, walk right by.
Because the problem, Harrison, is these people rely on other people telling them what to think about what they just read instead of just understanding it.
The damn dirty goyish Samaritan that actually helped the person, he's the one who should be exalted. So what are we talking about? So Jesus Christ himself, literally, his entire teaching was tearing down this racialized self-importance of the Jewish people and saying that the blessing of God goes to the people that follow his rules, the rules that Jesus Christ are giving. I mean, it's just crazy. Again, just absolutely insane.
We live in upside-down idiocracy world, Harrison. Well, here from the other side, from the foreign operative Mike Huckabee. Where is Mike Huckabee at? Let's see. This piece of work. Oh, where is he? Good Lord. No, that's not it. Oh, excuse me for a second here.
And of course, you have
no, that's Owen. Nope.
Autism therapy is Medicaid's fast America to destroy Iran. In doing so, they plan on America being massively hampered and harmed and hurt and injured and cause chaos, probably so overseas in the Middle East. And then once, Europe completely falls to the Muslims, which they are, and I'll explain that to you in the next hour, then Turkey and then Europe will be next on the chopping block.
Oh.
Gaza, Lebanon, Iran, Turkey, Germany. Right? I mean, it's just, why not, right? Why not?
Yeah, they're going to Turkey next, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. Oh my God, where did all these go here?
You're a slave. You're a slave to Jews. Don't ask me. Who must repay, and therefore I don't understand it.
Oh yeah, here's Huckabee.
It doesn't have anything to do with Christians. But you can't be a Christian and not understand that your entire faith is built on the foundation of Judaism.
Owen Schroyer.
We look at this as an obligation, a moral debt that we must repay, and therefore I don't understand anyone who says I'm a Christian, but I don't really want to support the Jews. How can you do that? But it is not the view of.
You're brainwashed, Huckabee. You work for a foreign nation, motherfucker.
Says about the Jewish people. In Genesis 12, those who bless Israel will be blessed, those who curse Israel will be cursed. It's pretty simple. I say there's a miracle every day in this country. I get asked all the time. Now, I want to now give this a little framework. And when you hear it a second time, listen to what he's actually saying. Basically, what Mike Huckabee is saying is that he's not even a real Christian. He doesn't even believe in Christianity as a faith. And he's not even crediting anything here to God. So what Mike Huckabee is saying is that Jews are God, and that therefore you owe a moral debt, or you're an indentured servant, or you're a slave to Jews. Well, that would make sense.
Well, that's what their own book says, is that they're going to have, 2,000 Gentile slaves when their Messiah comes?
So it actually makes sense when you look at it through that lens that, yes, these people believe you need to be a slave to Israel. But notice, he doesn't say that it's God. He says it's Jews. What? And if you're really a Christian, the entire point, you want to be an ambassador to Christianity, isn't the entire point saving souls by bringing their life to Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't believe that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior,
that's what I told you last week.
Christian faith,
our job.
Are they getting into heaven? In your Christian faith, you're saying that a Jewish person that doesn't believe in Jesus Christ is above you, and that you need to serve them, but yet you won't try to bring them to Christ? You won't try to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ? Instead, you turn around and tell Christians that the Jews are God, and that you need to be a slave to Jews?
Yeah. Well, he works for Israel.
What he just says.
The state of Israel. So,
you're a slave. Yeah. You're a slave to Jews. Don't ask me. Ask my fucking.
Absolutely. And I've got to ask, how the fuck do you still see these people as your greatest ally? Greatest ally. Oh, we gotta protect Israel. We gotta protect Israel. I like to hear that all the time. Here we go. A bill in Israel is being proposed that would outlaw public speech about Jesus Christ. Are you getting it yet? This comes from Melissa Wong on X. Do you understand why the vicious attacks on Christianity are happening around the world? This comes from the Sprinter Press. In Israel, a bill has been submitted to the Knesset that would criminalize public speech about Jesus Christ. The proposal was submitted by coalition lawmakers Moshe Gafne and Yaakov Asher. According to the draft, it would be prohibited to publish or distribute content that supports Jesus on the internet, in the media, or via email. That's your greatest ally, right? We gotta protect Israel. Israel's our greatest ally. You're a fucking idiot. Uncuck yourself. They hate you. You are a goy slave to all these people that you call your greatest ally. That's the dumbest motherfucking thing I've ever. And then there's the Judeo-Christian values. Yeah, you boomer motherfuckers just need to shut the fuck up. Okay? I know it's not all of you. It's not every single one of you. I know you can't put everybody into the same category. But what in the fuck? I can't anymore. They threaten. They make people disappear. Let's get into that here. Junior. Yeah, look at all the shit I gotta go over to get ready for the show. I do it all for you, ladies and gentlemen. All for you. Oh, where's it at? Here. Right? This is work phone, right? Yeah. There we go. This comes from Junior at Junior Trades, JV Nor Trades. I am not suicidal, but they want to kill me. They know who I am now. Posting on X put my life in danger. It all started March 3rd. Phone calls, then stalkers near a few of my properties in Florida and Canada, and people showing up in masks and cops constantly showing up at the door. I have proof and have been documenting everything just in case they try anything with me. I'm dropping a video on Instagram and YouTube to explain my situation more clearly. You have a lot of questions. I'm just trying to stay alive. We will talk very soon. He messaged somebody here. We have over 400 bots reporting your page. Or no, this is somebody talking to him. We have over 400 bots reporting your page from Israel every 30 minutes. Your account is dead, as you can see. We personally sent it to Israel team. Hey, we all know now. Yeah. That's how they do it. They harass. They abuse. They threaten people. They have been committing war crimes not only in Gaza and the West Bank, but now this. White phosphorus. Word. Israel is using white phosphorus bombs over civilian residential villages and towns in Lebanon. Human Rights Watchdog has confirmed this is a war crime. The incendiary effects of white phosphorus can cause death or cruel injuries that result in lifelong suffering. White phosphorus is a chemical substance dispersed in artillery shells, bombs, and rockets that ignites when exposed to oxygen. 217 people, including women and children, have been killed in Lebanon as of March 6th, according to the health ministry, and hundreds of thousands have been displaced. We got some more on white phosphorus. Where was the second one? This comes from Rex Jones at Rex Jones News with a Z on X. That is indeed what a white phosphorus weapon does.
You think you're stronger than me?
Pretty obvious. Look, here it is again. Yeah. You know, it's just more war crimes. This was 11 hours ago from the current report. Breaking. Israel dropped white phosphorus munitions on the village of Qayyam in South Lebanon, a weapon whose use in civilian areas is restricted under international law. Oh, wait, let me go on that in the comments. Somebody on here, of course, doesn't have a profile picture, of course, but says, I thought Iran was using cluster bombs on Israel civilian targets. Could this be retaliation? This is the same kind of people. We got to protect. We definitely got to protect Israel. Israel, our greatest ally. We always have to protect them. So you're saying that even if Iran did that, which I'm not cheering for Iran either. I'm not for the mullahs. I'm not for the state of Satan. You don't have to pick a side, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they want you to do, just like they do in country with left and right. You don't have to pick a side. But as I see the crimes mounting up, I'm gonna fucking expose them. That's what our job as human beings is if you see evil, you're supposed to expose it. Otherwise, that makes you complicit to the crimes. Anyway, just for fun, and this should get us pretty close. No, it's not the end of it, but just for fun, let's watch Piers Morgan get owned once again on his own show. I don't even know why he brings people on there anymore that don't don't side with him. How far down was that? Not very far. Okay, here we go.
Again, there is clear evidence that 6 million people, almost predominantly Jewish, were killed in the Holocaust. 12 million were killed by the Nazis in total. They were
That's Dan Bilzerian, I think is how you say his name.
To eliminate the Jewish people, and they tried extremely hard to do 12 million were killed. The Nazis killed 12 million people in World War II. 6 million were killed.
Oh, really?
6 million were killed in the Holocaust. Or do you not believe that either? Okay. I mean, Jews have killed far more Christians. Well, Jews have killed far more. Let's just accept the 6 million figure. Jews have killed far more Christians than that. I mean, it's not even close. If you look at the Bolshevik genocide, you look at the Holodomor, I mean, they've killed way more Christians. I mean, they basically invented the genocide.
Yeah.
So
it's in their doctrine.
They denied the Armenian genocide. Israel denies that. They've lobbied the U.S. to deny that. I'm Armenian. They killed half of my people, so and I'm not offended by that. If somebody questions that, it's not some crazy thing. I mean, Israel denies the Armenian Holocaust. Okay. It sounds to me, Dan, like you do actually hate Jewish people. No, I believe that Jewish supremacy is the greatest threat to the world today. I look at what they're doing in the media. They're pushing this transgender nonsense. I mean, and they did it in Germany. The first transgender clinic was opened
That's who is behind everything. Everything with these people is woke. Left, right, whatever. All the weird shit, the Black Lives Matter, all of it.
Reading them in schools. I don't like that Kamala Harris wants to pay for sex changes in prison so that men can turn into women and women can turn into men. And I don't like the fact that he's putting in, men into women's prisons, male rapists into women's prisons because they identify as women. It's just nonsense. I don't like, men beating up women in boxing and sports. I think it's all nonsense, and I think it's leading to a degradation of moral fiber. And if left unchecked, I think it's going to ruin the world. But again, you're blaming Jewish people. Why?
Yeah, because they're the motherfuckers to do it.
What do you mean they're pushing it? What are you talking about? Well,
pay attention.
They're controlling the media. I mean, the DEI is being pushed by BlackRock. BlackRock's execs are all Jewish. You look at where this is coming from. It's not a surprise. Dan, all the Disney execs are Jewish. Dan, they're pushing it on children. Do you accept, Dan, that you are just blatantly anti-Semitic? Look, I have an issue with that term. I mean, I think the real Semites are the Palestinians. I mean, the DNA tests that they've done on the Israelis that are living over there, they're Eastern European Ashkenazi Jews. I don't even think they're actual Semites. They don't have ancient Hebrew DNA, which is why DNA testing is illegal in Israel. I mean, you're literally denying their existence. I mean, you are just a brazen anti-Semite, aren't you? You hate Jewish people. You hate Israel. You hate the state of Israel. Its government. Everything. You're blaming this interview for literally absolutely everything. Well, I think most of the problems today is caused by Jewish supremacy. I believe that. I'm honestly gobsmacked that you would say all this publicly, given what a high profile you have.
See? What did I just say? They threaten you.
It's not a.
That sounds like a threat to me, Pierce.
It's not a popular opinion for somebody that cares about money and cares about not being canceled. I mean, that's the problem. Is you can say whatever you want against Muslims. You can be super anti-Muslim. You can talk about them and nobody cares. But if you say anything about Jewish people, you get canceled. They, look what they did to Kanye. I mean, so why are they such a protected class? Let me ask you that. I don't think they are. I think they're a class that gets targeted by people like you and
targeted
like Kanye, who spewed horrible anti-Semitic nonsense. But yours, it seems to me, to be more insidious because you're literally blaming. You're literally blaming Jewish people for almost everything that's happened that you don't like. Is Benjamin Netanyahu dead?
Well, the $1 million question, Alex Jones. Is he dead? Anyway, not to mention, the central bank Rothschilds that founded the state of Israel used their seal and all, just changed the color to blue from red. Rothschild means red shield, don't forget. Was most definitely, in my opinion, behind this professional hit. In my opinion.
Can get to this.
Check this out.
And by the way, I think at some point they said they didn't have the footage. They have the footage. Okay, this is Terrell was at his office
Charlie Kirk
when he showed me this, and here we go. You can just play this, and you guys are just on audio. You'll obviously need to cut this on video because I can't really describe obviously the question that's being asked. At this moment right here, we had assumed initially that was his recorder or something. I can confirm. You'll
That's
see
his
later.
necklace.
That's whipping fast, and it looks white when it whips fast, but that is in fact his necklace. That is his necklace, and I find that for some reason to be very strange that the necklace
moving
goes up first.
and around, up and around.
You can see this obviously, and by the way, there's no gore in this, so you'll need your discretion because, like I said, which kind of broke the internet. The bullet didn't go through, and Ellen did not go through, didn't even cause.
There is no exit wound.
Until the moment that he hit the ground. Skylar, we can get to that portion, I guess, where they can more clearly see the, well, of course we can show them the magnet that's still on him. I guess we'll get to that. Yeah, there you go.
So there's that.
I can see that is his.
Finally got the view from behind Charlie Kirk. And in my opinion, I think I am comfortable enough to say now that it is very, very likely that it was indeed the microphone going poof. Which my studio, there's pretty much no way that you could snipe me. So if anything ever were to happen to me, it probably comes from this. Okay? Just for future reference. I know I'm not big enough for that to probably be an issue, but here soon they might even be taking out the small fish, for all you know. And I'll get into that a little later. Let me move that up a little bit. There we go. So anyway, I know most of your extremely short attention spans have forgot about the whole Charlie Kirk ordeal. So this was your refresher. You're welcome. You get it all here at the Vinny Dairy Show. They're not gonna distract me away from the other shit, the other psyops, the other lies, the other anything. Because I'm not gonna let it rest until we have some kind of clarity on these subjects. Obviously, you're not going to get the U.S. government to come out and say that this is what happened, and you're probably going to hear this Charlie Robinson or whatever the fuck his name was going to he'll get his time or whatever the fuck. And he already knew that he was going to get the time because he's also an operative. And it is what it is. He'll get a sweetheart deal just like Ghislaine Maxwell, just like Jeffrey Epstein got. And they'll get all this shit. They're just agents or people they paid to take the fall. That's it. Anyway. Anyway, let's get into Epstein, who was a Rockefeller high-ranking puppet. Also a central bank guy. Holy shit. Something. What the hell is that even right there? Under the guise of the State of Israel. Owen Schroyer. I'm going to start with some of the files I've ran across this week. This one is going to be Dershowitz. So this comes from Owen Schroyer, 1776 on X, hence my little deal that he needs to bring back into a show. Didn't Dershowitz just say in an interview Epstein was not connected to intelligence, and if he was, he would have gotten him off? Well, look what we have here. On email, EFTA 00090314. We have, let's see here. Where should I start? Source reporting. Caption confidential human source was asked by the handling agent about information she may be aware of related to improper domestic or foreign influence over the electoral process in the U.S. Already provided some of this information documented in previous reports, but she expanded on several matters as described below. Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz. CHS learned that Dershowitz influenced many students from wealthy families. For example, Josh Kushner and Jared Kushner, the guy that just got us in the war with Iran, were both his students. Dershowitz told CHS that if he were young again, he would be holding a stun gun as an Israeli intelligence agent. CHS believed Dershowitz was co-opted by Mossad and subscribed to their mission. CHS still continues to communicate occasionally for Dershowitz. Jeffrey Epstein was represented by Dershowitz. CHS remembered Dershowitz tell Alex Acosta, U.S. Attorney of Southern District of Florida at the time, that Epstein belonged to both U.S. and Allied intelligence services. CHS shared phone calls between Dershowitz and Epstein during which she took notes. After these calls, Mossad would then call Dershowitz to debrief. Epstein was close to the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, and trained as a spy under him. Barak believed Netanyahu was a criminal. Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the UAE are allied against Qatar, Turkey, Iran, and Syria. We're going to Turkey next, folks. Just so you know. You won't hear about it in the news or nothing yet, but I'm telling you right here, right now, we will be going to Turkey. We being the U.S., because Israel told us to do so. So anyway, one of CHS's redacted, who presumably worked redacted, asked CHS a lot of questions about Epstein. CHS became convinced that Epstein was a co-opted Mossad agent. Anyway, you get the point. You get the point on that one. Let's see. Go in the pictures. Owen Schroyer. Good Lord. Oh my. Is this the name drop?
American luxury. And
Nope. That's the. Nope.
you're a
Nope. We already watched that one.
Five
Here we go.
that paid money to Epstein, and that was Les Wexner, Lynn Dubin, Stephen Sadowski, the Rothschild, and Leon Black. We've already deposed Wexner, and we're going to be deposing Leon Black very soon.
If you're watching this show, you already know those names, but I just want to throw it back in your face again.
It's going to be quite a web, folks. The Leon Black connection. What is his real name? That's not even his real name. He changed his name, kind of like Benjamin Milikowski. What is Leon Black's real name? It might even literally be Blackwoods. Anyway, he changed it. The Leon
He's
Black
a Jew.
connections are going to be
or an Edomite. Sorry, an Edomite. No,
they're going to be bad. And